What's up? Welcome back to Psych Entertainment, where we are going to continue working on the Z1 late model, getting ready for our first practice laps at Florence Speedway on March 12th. So, in this video, we are going to work a lot on our fuel system wise. We need to get the fuel line changed out because this one right here is the fuel line. It does not reach the fuel pump. But I do have a new braided, not a new, but on the last car we had a fairly new, it's only used one season, braided brake line or fuel line that we're going to replace that one with. And we're also going to try to get all that hooked up and then try to get the carburetor put on the car today as well. So we'll see how it goes. But one thing we got to do, a couple things we have to do on the fuel side is we need to change this part out. This is an older style cap and everything for the fuel cell. I have a newer one that we're going to replace it with, so we need to get that off, get that changed out. This fuel line right here runs to a fuel filter, but we're going to leave that on there, and hopefully my fittings and stuff reach the same. So either we're going to change out the fuel line going from the other side of that fuel filter to the front of the car, or I'm going to trim all these zip ties and see if I can somehow still get it able to run the rest of the way, because I only need a couple inches to get it the rest of the way there. So that's today's goal, is basically the fuel side of the car. Get the fuel all set up, maybe get the carburetor put on and everything. And it still won't get fired up today. That's going to be for another time. But that's kind of what our objective is today. So, but anyway, get going. I'm going to start off by clipping all the zip ties on the fuel line, or the fuel line, that's already there, and either seeing if we can reroute it or taking it off and putting another one on. Alright, we got it all unzip tied. So now we got to see if we can get it to reach to the front, which it does. So right here it was right here. We're gonna go ahead and connect it because I want to see how I can put the rest of this line where I can zip tie it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna run it. I think the only problem I see, I don't know how much of a problem it is. The only problem I have right now is that before, the hose was right coming straight off the filter onto the tube, going straight down this way. The way I think I'm going to have to get it to be able to work is to just pull it straight across, but then it's going to be kind of free hanging to the top all the way over. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I mean, I don't know. I might just go with it for now, just for starters. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie it up, see how much slack I have at the end. If I have any slack, then we'll probably try to tighten it up. I'm going to go ahead and start zip tying it, getting it into place for now, and then we'll figure out what to do after. Alright, we got the fuel line zip tied up. I was able to get it to reach all the way over. One thing I haven't done yet is tighten this up to the fuel pump. So we need to do that. And it looks like my wrench that I got right now ain't big enough. So we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll make sure everything's tightened up. But we got that figured out. It was able to reach. So we got that done. So now what we're going to try to do carefully is we got to get first all this junk off the top of the car. Then we need to get that cap and everything off the top of the fuel cell. And this is the one we're replacing it with right here. So this is the one off the old car. Pretty much what happens is this flap in here, the fuel goes in. If the car flips over for any reason, this flap will close, not allowing the fuel to come out. So that's what we need to get put on that one. I wish I could put this fuel cell in, because this fuel cell is brand new. I mean, it's only had one season on it, but I would have to do a lot of fabricating to get that to fit in there, because this is a different style setup for this fuel cell. So for now, we're going to use the one that's in there. It's not that bad. It's not rusted out too bad. So we're going to go ahead, get this stuff cleaned off the top, get that cap and stuff off, and get it replaced with this one. All right, we got all the stuff cleaned off the top of the car. We opened our gas flap. We're going to take all these bolts off, all these nuts off, carefully remove this off, and put the other one on. Alright, we got it out. I didn't end up filming that part because that was just, I was taking pry bars. You can see how long that's been on there. It was just very hard to come off. I ended up having to take a screwdriver and stuff to pry that off. But we got it off. Go ahead and get the one off the other tank off so that we can get that one put in here now. My prayers go unanswered now. Bright nights, an everlasting darksome days. Bright nights, I'm wearing the stain you made of me, and I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for the bright nights to lead my way through the maze. Savior, save me from myself. All right, we had to trim probably about 3 inches off with a little Dremel grinder. We had to cut about 3 inches off to get this one to fit because that one's a bigger tank. The end here was a little bit longer, so I just went ahead and modified it, fit it in the tank, make sure it fits in the corner. For those of you that don't know, which you probably do, but if you don't, always aim your fill or your tube that brings the gas in to the back right hand corner, because when you're driving, your fuel goes to the back, and when you turn, well, that would probably be back left hand corner, wouldn't it? Turn, fuel, back left. Yeah, it'd be about back left hand corner, I want to say. Let me check, see where this one was. This one was actually back right hand corner. So yeah, so we're gonna pretty much copy off of this one, back right hand corner in the car, and which is pretty much where I got it now. So pretty much I just made these as identical as possible, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it back in, get it bolted down, and then we will have the new top in the fuel cell. Closing in a darker place. Savior, help me to unwind. I'm waiting here. Relieve me from my worried mind. Bright nights, an everlasting darksome days. Bright nights, and wearing the stain you made of me, and I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for the bright nights to lead my way through the maze. Alright, we left off yesterday abruptly because my GoPro died again. I got 2 batteries now, but I don't have a charging pack for it, so hopefully by this weekend I'll get a charging pack so I can keep battery always charged. But where we left off yesterday, we got the new fuel cap and everything in on the old fuel cell. Get that all squared away, got the lines and stuff all hooked up today. We're gonna go ahead and try to put this carburetor on. Put all that together, do some of the wiring and stuff because we gotta do some wiring. Maybe we'll see, maybe we'll get this car started today. But not too much to talk about. We're gonna go ahead and just get right to it and let's get this carburetor and stuff put on.
Where are you now? I'm waiting here. Sing for me sweet lullabies. Bright nights of everlasting darksome days. Bright nights, I'm wearing the stain you made of me. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait.
Alright, got carburetor on. We got our linkage for our acceleration with our spring for the return pressure, or however you say it. But got all that set up, got it all hooked up. Carburetor's on, fuel lines are on. Fuel lines changed out. Got all the fuel stuff done. Gotta wait on some parts. We gotta order a radiator because that one over there is not so good. So we need to order a radiator, do some electrical work. Need to figure out the drive shaft situation to see if we still can use a 38.5 or if we're gonna go to something smaller. Other than that, besides some minor things like changing the belts out to the other ones, getting our wrap and stuff changed out, we should be pretty much all set up. We gotta do all the connections. We gotta get new hydraulic hoses and stuff. But other than that, that's it for today. That's it for today, the work. And hopefully you enjoyed this content. I will see you in the next video.